insisted that she come home with us last night.
No, there's no way we were going to get her out of here. You know that.
What's she so worried about? I mean, Roger can't get free. Somebody told me that they had him tied down to a bed.
Yeah, but it's still Roger. You can't trust him. She had to make sure he shows up for that sanity hearing this morning.
I guess you're right. He's a dangerous man. He's a ruthless man. Anytime. And given what's been going on, if he were to get free, I don't know what he'd be capable of. Matt.
Are you okay? Are you all right?
Yeah.
Come here. Sit.
No, I'm fine. I was just dizzy for a second.
Just come over here and sit down, please.
Okay.
Give me this.
Oh, boy. Not enough sleep. Too much worrying. I'm fine. I'll be fine once this is all over with. And it'll be over with today.
I hope so.
Yeah, well, it will be. We're going to get Dinah back today, and I'm not going to have to worry about that terrible man anymore.
You know, we might have to testify.
Yeah, I know. I'm ready.
You sure?
Yeah, I am. It's the right thing to do. Oh,
Good morning.
Hi. What are you doing here?
That's a good question. I should be in court.
That's my fault.
It's not your
Yes,
fault.
it is. My father had a nurse call me first thing this morning. He wants to see me right before the hearing.
Roger insisted that she be here. He's just playing head games.
Well, it's not going to work, okay? I mean, I know exactly what my father's about, who he is. I mean, if I didn't know before, hearing him describe pulling the trigger on his own son sure convinced me.
Well, then why are you...
Because I want to end this quickly, and we will, so don't worry about it. There's nothing my father can say that will change my mind. Trust me.
This is not a strategy. It's a blitzkrieg. I have so many witnesses, so much testimony. We're going to roll over Roger like we're in a tank.
Are you gonna call us?
I doubt that. I mean, the witnesses and the testimony I have, they're going to do the job.
Good.
However, if I find myself where I have to call you, you're going to be under oath. So is there anything I should know?
Well, what kind of thing are you going to ask?
Let's get...
Good morning, Counselor. Top of the morning to you.
Leo Flynn, why are you so cheerful?
Well, you'll find out when I see you in court.
When you get there, you should watch your back, because in the crazed condition that Roger is in, if things go south for him, he's not going to be in a good mood, and his attorney might be the perfect target.
Seriously.
Dinah, hi. You are, sweetheart. We were beginning to worry about you.
I had to get some coffee. I needed something to keep myself going. I've been up all night.
Look, it's a change of clothes for you in case you need it.
Oh, thanks.
Honey, why don't you go change now, because once Blake is done talking to Roger, we're going to go to the courthouse.
Blake's here?
Yeah, she's with Roger right now.
Now, I'll get her out. Besides, I have to speak to my client before we make an appearance in court.
Might as well be talking to a doorknob, Leo.
I'll see you shortly, Counselor.
Where's Roger?
Yeah, he's supposed to be here, isn't he?
Unless he's incapable of appearing.
The Municipal Court of Springfield is now in session. The Honorable Judge George Huffman presiding.
Do you know anything about this judge?
Yeah, he's tough.
All rise.
Be seated. We seem to be missing some of our parties, the respondent and his counsel. Can anyone enlighten me as to their whereabouts?
I can, Your Honor.
Well, good of you to be here and join us. Mr. Thorpe?
I apologize, Your Honor. I was unavoidably detained.
And your attorney, where is he?
You're looking at him.
Order in the court. Quiet, quiet.
I shall be representing myself.
I'm compelled to ask you to reconsider that, Mr. Thorpe. This is a competency hearing.
I'm well aware of that, Your Honor. In fact, I don't think I've ever been more aware of anything in my life.
Then you must also be aware of what they say about respondents defending themselves.
I'm no fool, Judge. Fact is, I'm the only one qualified to prove that to you. To prove my sanity.
It's within my power to disallow this. However, I see Mr. Leo Flynn, your former counsel, is here present in the courtroom. I'm going to ask him to take a seat at your table and join you as co-counsel.
With all due respect.
Overruled, Mr. Thorpe. Mr. Flynn, the court would be most grateful for your participation in this matter.
Your Honor.
I have a request, Your Honor.
Yes?
I request that my handcuffs be removed. I feel they prejudice my case.
So ordered. The bailiff will remove the cuffs.
Thank you.
Mr. Marler, I'm ready to hear the petitioner's opening statement.
Since we're having difficulty beginning this, I will be brief, Your Honor.
Brevity is always much appreciated.
I'm asking that the court, representing my client, Mrs. Dinah Thorpe, have her husband, Mr. Roger Thorpe, committed to a psychiatric institution. And furthermore, we request that the court appoint his wife conservator of his estate. Thank you.
On what grounds? This is expert testimony, Mr. Thorpe. Overruled. You may proceed, Doctor.
Thank you. I only wanted to add that concerning the medication, we won't know if it's necessary until we've had some more time to examine him.
Been working very hard, conspiring to make it appear that I am insane. Please, don't be pressured and intimidated by the rest of your family. Just do the right thing and tell the truth as you know it, that there is nothing wrong with me.
Mrs. Mahler, we're waiting for an answer.
Come on, honey. I feel that you're being intimidated somehow. Please, please, tell the court how Hart and Dinah, my son and my wife, conspired together, pretending to hate each other while they worked in tandem to gaslight me. You see, Your Honor, the plan was to strip me of everything. My money, my freedom, my dignity. And it almost worked. You almost turned me into a raving psychotic. Almost. You swore to tell the truth. Honor that oath.
Oh, Daddy, You are sick, and you need to be put away.
Yes, Your Honor. Roger was very eager to find Hart.
Why?
Why? Because I love him.
Why? Because
back.
He wanted to use me, Your Honor. He wanted to use me to get custody of my son, Peter. And when I found out, I was livid.
My children, Hart and Christina Blake, perjured themselves. But the fact is, they had good reason. I have been a lousy, miserable father. I love my kids. But sometimes parental love is not enough. Ross Marler, Vanessa Reardon will certainly bear me out on that. Vanessa gave her child, Dinah, up for adoption, and she was raised by carnival folk. Ross Marler tried to tame his grown-up wild child, and to spite him, she married me. So much hate. And my children are filled with it. And that's what drove them to do this to me.
Get to the point, Mr. Thorpe.
Please, Your Honor. Focus, Roger. Just start from the beginning.
I guess it started with my wife trying to convince me that my memory was no good. I had always had a very good memory. She convinced me that I'd forgotten things. Like, I remember the first thing was a union meeting, very important union. My wife and I co-own a television station, WSBR. And she convinced me that I'd missed a very important union meeting because I forgot. Then there was the ice cream that she convinced me that I had asked her to go out for in the middle of the night, actually the early wee hours of the morning. And that was the very night that I dreamed supposedly about Solomon.
The biblical king?
No, I'm sorry, Your Honor. No. Solomon was a spy, and we worked together for the agency, and we were best friends, and I had to let him die for the good of a mission. Oh, that kind of stuff happened all the time, believe me. Well, the point was, and is, that no one knew about this man Solomon except for Hart's mother. Oh, of course. That's why you wanted her letters. You used them to get all the details of your mother's life. The perfume that you pumped through the air ducts of my apartment. And that time in Roosevelt Park when I was walking, I thought I saw Laura. I did see her. Not her, of course. But it was not my imagination. It was all real.
Remind us about Laura and why there was perfume in the air supply.
Of course, Your Honor. Laura was Hart Jessup's mother. She was the real love of my life. We met when we worked together for the agency, and we soon became partners in every sense of the word. And she suffered very horrible, disfiguring torture to protect me. And you used the knowledge of your dead mother. The fact that she wore Shalimar, you pumped it through the air ducts of my apartment. You used my memory of her and my love of her to take something sacred and defile it. And for that reason alone, you should rot in hell. Oh, the scarf. That was another detail that they gleaned from the letters. That was a very good touch, very smart. I bought it for Laura in Budapest, and she loved the color and weave of the fabric. You liked it too, didn't you? Like the feel of it around your neck. Of course you did, but of course you said that it didn't exist. You couldn't feel it, so I pulled it a little tighter. And you still insisted that it didn't exist and that I was crazy.
Am I to understand you choked your wife with a scarf?
No. But how could I? It didn't exist, according to her. So many things didn't exist. Like the scratches on my car. And the image that leapt out of the mirror. Well, and that obviously was a bad dream that they'd driven me into having. All right, dissolve. Let's get to the nitty-gritty. The fabled night at Laurel Falls, when I shot and killed my son.
You think you shot your son?
No, I don't anymore, but I did then. You see, they lured me to come to Laurel Falls, and then Dinah brought the gun. Since I refused to bring it, I'd had no need for it. And while I was holding it, he lunged at me, and the gun went off. Had a blood pack, the whole 9 yards. I mean, big chest wound, spurting. And we dug a pit, and we buried him, my wife and I. And then the fun began. Then they really kicked into high gear. He started appearing to me everywhere. My television station, the coffin I bought to bury him, to give him a proper burial, the jail, hospital, even my apartment. I mean, when you kill somebody, they're supposed to remain dead, aren't they? But not my son Hart. No, he was giving Elvis a run for his money, so I decided to see for myself. I was getting a little skeptical. And I got my wife to take me to where she said she'd moved the body, and there he was, in all his rotting, putrid glory, my son the corpse. Only it wasn't my son. As it turns out, it was a latex dummy corpse. Finally, we get to the street fair. Suddenly, out of nowhere, he taps me on the shoulder and says, it's all right, Dad, I'll take it from here. May I cut in? I'm dancing with my wife. I mean, can you believe it? May I cut in? Who says may I cut in anymore?
Mr. Thorpe, perhaps you'd like to collect your thoughts.
Oh, my thoughts are completely collected. They want me put away so that they can get to my money.
Well, it's my understanding that your wife and son are wealthy in their own right.
You taking their side?
I'm trying to make sense of your testimony.
The sense is completely obvious. I'm just absolutely amazed that you don't see it.
I'm looking at the evidence, Mr. Thorpe. You say one thing, and everyone else who's testified says another. Why is that?
Because they hate me. Okay? Lots of them hate me. Town of Springfield. I'm still the yard dog. That not good enough to be let into the house. Her grandfather, Henry Chamberlain, called me that 20 years ago. And it still exists today. It's ironic. I mean, I served my country. I helped to keep you people free. And that's the thanks I get. Still the yard dog. Don't give the yard dog his due. You all hate me. Look at you. You hate me. You want to see me dead? You want to see me put away? You just hate me. You want me dead. Dead. Dead.
The question of mental competency is a difficult one to answer. In most cases.
No, don't do
No
this.
judge wants to commit an individual unless there's irrefutable and overwhelming evidence to do
There's
so.
no evidence here. What evidence would you...
Based on the testimony of witnesses, experts, and most of all you, Mr. Thorpe, I hereby order you committed to the Midland Hills Psychiatric Hospital for 90 days of testing and evaluation.
You can't do this. You can't do this. It's wrong. It's wrong.
Only gonna make it worse.
Furthermore, the court grants Mrs. Thorpe's request for conservatorship of her husband's assets.
No. You can't give her control over my money.
Mr. Flynn, if you can't keep control of your client, I will ask the bailiff to do it.
I'll try, Your Honor. Roger, shut up. They're going to take you out of here a street check.
Listen, you're rehired. Do something. Get me out of this.
Roger,
Please.
I just don't know how to help you anymore.
Officer Cooper, will you please see that Mr. Thorpe gets to the Midland Hills safely?
Yes, sir.
Sit down. I'm not through yet. Let me be clear to everyone. Although the evidence to commit Mr. Thorpe is overwhelming, should I discover that there's one iota of truth in what he says, namely that there was a conspiracy to drive him out of his mind, I will make it my personal mission to see that the guilty parties are punished severely. Court is adjourned.
Your Honor, this is wrong. This is so wrong. They did this to me, every damn one of them.
Roger, we got to do this.
Please, Frank. I'll go peacefully. I swear. No handcuffs. Please.
Okay, Roger, let's go.
Thank you. Mark this day on your calendars. It is the beginning and the end for every one of you.
Listen, thank you both for being here. I really appreciate it.
Yes.
Thanks. My father's going where he belongs now.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm not the only one who did it.
Yeah. Just stay out of my life now, okay?
No problem. It's no problem at all.